These two on the screen were once traded for one another, and now they are cover boys for SI. They both secured the bag in the offseason, but we're going to focus on Trey TL, $207 million over 5 years, coming off one of the most legendary playoff runs in recent history with the Hawks. So now, to join us, Michael Pina, staff writer from SI. He joins us. Number one, thanks for taking a moment. Two, outstanding quality pieces of penmanship. Now, they pull back the curtain for all the fans. Now, we got to start with the torch bearer, Trae Young. We learn all about his on-court versus off-court demeanor and his confidence, and it's on another level. He oozes it, and his teammates definitely notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Trae is coming off one of the better playoff runs in recent memory for anyone making their playoff debut. The numbers were there, 29 points, 10 assists, really flashed himself prominently in the pick and roll, which is kind of his trademark action, setting up guys, just really elevated his status from being in Madison Square Garden and kind of shushing the crowd in game one of that series in the first round to game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, where he has 48 and 11 in Milwaukee against the eventual champions and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So it was a magnificent run for Trae, and it kind of sets himself up as a 23-year-old, one of the brightest stars in this league going forward.
And I like the fact that you put in there the most pick and rolls in the league, outstanding with the stats. Now, his head coach, Nate McMillan, he's also become a mentor as well, comparing Trae to a sports car, and also his airness. Talk about that.
Yeah, so Nate McMillan comes over, becomes the head coach of the team on March 1st. The Hawks go 27 and 11 down the stretch. Only the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns had a better record than the Hawks. And a lot of that was because of the relationship that Nate was able to develop with Trae, where, Trae Young throughout his career has kind of his confidence, as you mentioned earlier, his boldness, the heat checks, the 30-footers, the logo threes. Nate wanted him to kind of temper those shots and trust his teammates a little bit more. So instead of kind of taking those looks, those early shots in the shot clock, slow things down a little bit, get other guys involved, call plays for someone like Bogey or John Collins or DeAndre Hunter when he was healthy, or Kevin Huerter, particularly in game 7 of the conference semifinals, where Huerter has this monstrous 27-point game. That was Trae trusting his teammates and letting them do the work and kind of ceding some of the responsibility from his own shoulders. So Nate has been a tremendous influence on Trae, and their relationship is humongous for the Atlanta Hawks going forward.
No question about it. Now the Hawks, they've also started taking notes from title teams of the past. You got John Collins, who also got paid, by the way, says they're inspired to play like those Showtime Lakers, but with a little bit of a twist.
Right, exactly. I think the way that the Hawks play basketball, a lot of lobs, a lot of deep threes. They aren't afraid to talk trash. Trae is one of the biggest trash talkers in the league. There was, John Collins, who you just mentioned, had the dunk on Joel Embiid, and then he comes out with the T-shirt a couple of games later in the post-game press conference. These guys are just fearless. And the fact that was their first run, and they played so boldly and with such confidence that was kind of infused by Trae, it was just really speaks volumes to kind of his influence on everybody and just how fun and how much joy they play with.
At the top, I mentioned two pieces. Now we'll switch to Karl Anthony Towns. Loses multiple family members due to COVID. His mother, Jackie Towns. Oh man, it's just tough. But you share how much it changed his entire demeanor and how it's changed his life.
Yeah, I mean, Karl obviously went through incredible trauma over the past 18 months, losing his mother, losing 6 other family members, and then having COVID himself, contracting the disease at the start of last season, and having to isolate, having to quarantine, he lost 50 pounds. So physically getting back to playing basketball, let alone emotionally and mentally. And, the first time he was cleared to go on the road with Minnesota, he suffered a panic attack in the locker room and had to go after the end of the first quarter, had to go to the back, was not able to come back out to the court. And so he's just been through a ton, from all of the things that I just mentioned to, having to play on the anniversary of his mother's death around Easter, to playing on Mother's Day in Orlando. It was an extremely traumatic year for him. And he spent the offseason really working on himself, he told me, and really taking care of what he needed to do. We'd be that going on these little mini vacations with his girlfriend, just having long conversations with his father, and letting time kind of heal the massive grief that was kind of weighing on his shoulders all throughout last season. So he's excited about this upcoming season and looking to get backtracked professionally after such personal tragedy.
Indeed, indeed. And I do appreciate also the bond that he's building with this coach right now, Coach Fitch. That was a great piece. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe.
Thank you, Ro.
Yes, indeed. Well, check this. It went viral and Twitter was trending as they counted how many legends they saw. What am I talking about? You might want to stick around. I was about to take a stroll down NBA lane.